Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Penguin Academy, not game analysis this time. This is a preview for the World Championships knockout stage, or as I'm just going to be calling them from now on, the World Championships, the Blood Bowl World Championships. I don't even need to put in Blood Bowl 3. There are no other World Championships, so I don't know why I need to specify the format. The Euro Bowl doesn't call itself the Tabletop Euro Bowl, does it? So this is the 2025 Blood Bowl World Championships. Simple as that. I'm going to have a look over the matchups of those who qualified, give a little, who I think is going to win and get where or whatever, but it's Blood Bowl, so lots of these are just up in the air. In fact, anyone can beat anyone, but even worse than that, in this kind of knockout stage, even if they're just close and I know one is better, the other one can still win with just one dice roll in the middle of the game. One bad snake, one bad block, one bad Kaz, and it swings the game enough that they're out. So just because I think someone should win, in no way do I think they will win. So let's start in the top quarter. Who drew who here? We have Justicium and his undead versus Benbow Baggins and his lizards. And I mean, it's got to go to Justicium. He is coach-wise, he has the advantage. Team-wise, there's not really an advantage here. It's very draw-like team-wise, undead into lizards. But coach-wise, therefore, the slight advantage is to Justicium, and therefore I think Justicium will take Benbow out. Next match looks incredible. Probably the best match of this top half, glancing down. We have World Sitar and his Norse versus Mankiz and his humans. I do think World Sitar has the edge, coach-wise. I know people love the Meat Throttler, but I think play-wise, World Sitar is better. And I don't think humans are particularly better than Norse in this matchup at all. So I think World Sitar will take out Mankiz. Sorry, Mankiz. I think that's the end of the Meat Throttler. That's a bad matchup for him. Next up, we have Moplovat or Plo versus Andre. Again, bad matchup for Plo coach-wise. Andre is the better coach there. But not a bad matchup team-wise. Undead into humans. Unfortunately, as we saw in the last match, Plo is prone to the odd mistake. And I think Andre can punish that with speed of humans. So I think I give the edge to Andre there. But slighter edge, weirdly slighter edge than I give World Sitar for Mankiz. Even though Mankiz is better than Plo. And then the other one in this quarter is Bigodin versus Arzawain with a human mirror. And I've got to give it to Arzawain. It is a human mirror. So, very draw statey. But over 3 matches, over 10 matches, I'd give it to Arzawain without blinking. Over 3 matches, you give it slightly to Arzawain because he's the better coach. Which then moves Arzawain and Andre in a human mirror, and you might as well roll a dice there. I don't know if they'll just have a game of cards back home to decide it. They're both in PI, so that'll be fun that one of them definitely doesn't get to go through to the quarterfinals. Thank you, gods of Blood Bowl. And I probably give it to Arzo. I think he's slightly better than Andre, but very, very, very fine margins at this point. They're both very good coaches. Not great people, but very good coaches. And it's a human mirror, so anything could happen there. And above, we have Justicium into World Sitar. And the problem for World Sitar is, even though I think he's better than Justicium, he's got Norse into Undead, which is not a good matchup. So Justicium has a very good shot of getting through. Is it quarterfinals get paid, Jim? Quarterfinals get paid or semi-finals only? I can't remember. Quarterfinals do get paid. So I guess I'll just stop at the quarters to see, who gets to the money rounds. And we'll have a preview of the quarterfinals when we get there instead. So I think Justicium versus Arzawain in that quarterfinal for the money, which is kind of annoying that one of PI wins some more money, but I think that's what it's going to be. The quarterfinals are also live from Paris. Nice. So we will be cheering you on, Jim. Try to wear your cleanest homeless man hoodie. I think Arzo beats Andre, yes. So in the second quarter, we have Fufale versus Devo. And Fufale was not good. However, that doesn't always matter when you're playing rats. That's the problem that Devo has got. It doesn't matter that much that you're not that good when you're playing rats. You can still draw any game. You can still win any game with a lucky Dakar after a one turn or something. Yes, Arzawain is consistently very good. Andre is a bit like Ungern, is a top tier player, but sometimes just shows up like trolling, terrible, no idea why. Just shows up awful. Arzawain, not normally that kind of player, more consistent. So, I mean, you got to give it to Devo, right? He's just a better player, like, than Fufale. Sorry for, like, again, it's no hate to the individual people. I mean, unless I'm specifically calling them out that I don't like them. Like, I have nothing against Fufale. He just wasn't very good. He's just here because he was playing rats, and his group was easier. So you've got to give the edge to Devo. Unfortunately, it's not as easy as you would hope because it's rats. Next up, Ungern versus J-Leave. And as we just talked about, it just depends which Ungern shows up. If Ungern, who played the third match, shows up, it's an easy win for J-Leave. If the Ungern who plays the first match of the group shows up, J-Leave's going home. Like, it literally just matters which Ungern shows up. And your guess is as good as mine for that. I've played Ungern and found him one of the hardest matches ever, and I've played Ungern and wondered why he's letting his niece use his account. Like, it's completely random. After that, we have a hilarious matchup, let's be honest. Mr. Page's Black Orcs versus Edward Lover's Orcs. Jeez Louise. That's a match I'm not looking forward to casting. Two bangers, neither great at Blood Bowl. Who knows what happens there? I mean, probably what's going to happen is Page just fouls the crap out of the Orcs and wins. But it's Orcs, right? They can just survive fouls until you get sent off. Who knows? It's not a good match. I don't care who gets through. They're bad. And then the next match, Padawan's Necro versus Le Marseillais Dark Elves. I'm giving it to Le Marseillais. Like, Padawan wasn't great either. He's just, the only way he's going to win is if the Wolves kill things. And then the problem that comes next is who's facing who in the next matchup there. So let's say Page gets through and Le Marseillais gets through. Le Marseillais gets fouled to death, right? That's the problem. He's not Orcs. More vulnerable to the 6 mighty blow that Page has brought with him. But surely there's no way Page can just dice his way through 2 games. So I'm going to put Le Marseillais in the quarters. Sorry, yeah, the troll, yeah. So I'm going to put Le Marseillais in the quarters there. And above, I'm going to put Devo in the quarters. Because I think Devo will beat Ungern. Because I don't think Ungern has got 4 matches at top tier quality in him. So either he gets knocked out by J-Leave, who then gets taken out by Devo, or he makes it past J-Leave by turning up and playing properly, but then can't play 3rd and 4th games playing properly, so Devo takes him out anyway. So I think Devo makes it to the quarters. I think it will be a shock if anyone other than Devo or Ungern makes it to the quarters. And that gives that, just in case it happens, that puts Devo for me in the semis. Probably against oh man, Justicium's going a long way for someone I don't rate that much, isn't it? It's just Undead, such a good matchup in this top. Look at all these humans. Undead is such a good matchup, a team to be in this top quarter. So I think Justicium's going to the final. I mean, obviously it's crazy to actually put any money on that right now. Like, he could just lose to Bembo and no one would be that surprised. Right, let's look at the bottom half. First up, we have Kill Train versus Likimi, and this is the first matchup where I don't care who wins, because neither of them stand a chance at doing anything. Sure. Let's give it a Kill Train. Next up, we have Olivier Dulac versus Dragu. Got to give it to ODL, especially rats into lizards. I mean, that's pretty great. And then, oh my God, and then OTL gets Kill Train. Okay, I mean, that puts ODL into the quarters. Like, oh, sorry, into the, wait, quarters? Yeah, that puts ODL into the quarters. Like, he's in there with three people he should beat. Crystal Hunter versus Kopex. If Crystal doesn't win that, I'd be amazed. Like, Kopex also just not great. Just showing up with orcs, whatever. And then Crystal gets the winner of Toast Guy and Dastardly Dan. So that puts Crystal in the quarters. And then we have the rat off between the online Crystal Hunter and the tabletop Crystal Hunter, which is pretty funny. Who wins out of Toast Guy and Dastardly Dan? I mean, let's all hope that it's Dastardly Dan. I mean, frankly, I hope that Dastardly Dan gets through and then also murders Crystal Hunter and Olivier Dulac, because it's goblins, and that's what we all want. Who doesn't want to see goblins murder aggressive rat coaches all day, every day? If you don't want to see that, we're not friends. Get out. But realistically, it's not happening. And next up, we have Nightwatch versus the People's Champ, Nasher. I'm sorry, Nightwatch. I've got, obviously, intellectually, Nightwatch wins this. However, Nasher has, Lady Luck on his side, right? I'm gonna go with Nasher. I'm gonna break my own rule and not pick the person who should win. I'm going with Nasher. Valley versus Tour in a... Oh, what the hell's going on there? How did they get each other? Nightwatch is decent, yeah. But I've got to go with Nasher. I mean, and the next one I've got to go with Valley, which means that means Nasher gets Valley, and Valley with his terrible pro elf build. I'm going with Nasher again. Let's go, Nasher. Honestly, this isn't happening, by the way. There's zero chance of this happening. But come on, Nasher. That puts Nasher in the quarters after just banging out Zons and Onions back to back. And at the bottom, we've got Fricape versus Tector. Oof. Tough. Fricape's better, but Lizards are just real good, especially in a bash matchup like this. I think Tector. I'm going with Tector. I think Fricape's better, but I think the Lizards will edge it. And then, probably the second most interesting matchup of the entire first round. Purple Chest or PC versus Jeffy's. And hello, didn't mean to do that. Purple Chest has brought Dark Elves into Rats, which is not a great matchup. It's tough. Let's back PC. Let's back PC for a 2-1 victory instead of just a straight 2-0. Can I guess which one of these will see a third match? I think PC and Jeffys will see a third match. Frickape and Tector might see a third match. That shouldn't. If that does, then Nash is out, so that doesn't. If that does, Dan is out, so that can't either. This won't. This won't. This probably could, because they're both bad, so sure. This won't. This might. And again, I don't think this will, but that doesn't mean I know which one of them will win. Either Ungern shows up with his troll-in self and J-Leave goes 2-0, or Ungern shows up with his actual self and Ungern goes 2-0. This could, just because of rats. This shouldn't. This could, if Plo bangs him out, one of them. And the same here. And the same here. So we will see some third matches in some of these. Like, I mean, it's probably guaranteed, right? Just by the odds. But some of them shouldn't go to a third match. Who's my pick to win it all right now before we move on? Who's my pick for the big boy champion? Oh, that's so weird. You know, my gut instinct. Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say, Jaeger. My gut instinct is Justicium, and yet he's in the hardest quarter, and not the best player. Okay, I will obviously change my mind if Justicium isn't there when we do the quarterfinals preview, because we'll do all of these games and these games. Then we'll do another preview before the live quarterfinals. But right now, my dark horse pick, because I think it is a dark horse pick. I wouldn't name him in the top 5 players here. Justicium somehow becomes the 2025 world champion. So many of the other players who are better than him have brought teams that can so easily fall apart, and Undead are just so stable. I mean, the problem with Crystal's draw is that he's facing his mirror twin. The bottom half is incredible for ODL and Crystal. It's just they're next to each other, so they can't face each. They can't both get here. No one down here is bad against rats. Sorry, is good against rats. No one in the bottom half is good against rats. Well, I do think that whoever wins out of you and Jeff gets to the quarters. If you face Nasher, then yeah, okay, semis. But if common sense overrules what I want, and you face Nightwatch or Veli, then much harder. If Veli had built his team properly, I would put Veli in the semis, sorry. But he didn't. So, we'll see. I mean, I kind of just want Nasher to go all the way. Like, genuinely, nothing would please me more than if Nasha was the Blood Bowl 2025 world champion. Doesn't even need to be a crazy Dyson, right? He's brought humans with Mighty Blow Tackle, and he's got probably Zons, then probably Pro Elves, then probably Rats or Dark Elves. Right? He's bought the Elf beating team. It's the only one down there. Oh, no, he hasn't. You're right. I'm an idiot. Oh, I forgot. I forgot he's brought the 4 guard blitzers. Okay, it is a Dyson. He is going to have to dice his way through. But we believe. Oh, I can't believe I forgot he screwed up his team as well. Oh, man. The power of Nasha has overwhelmed my memory. All right, fine. Right. Everyone cover your ears. Fine. The winner of PC and Jeff is gets to the semis. Sorry, Nasha. He has humans where he hasn't taken Mighty Blow Tackle, yes. Which is, you know, as Jim says a lot, is overrated, but is not bad. Those two things can be true. Mighty Blow Tackle is still great and is the only reason to take humans at all. I mean, I'll be amazed if in round 2 we're not down to 2 to 2 Brits. Because Bembo's almost certainly not getting past Justicium. Like, he would have to play out of his boots or dice out of his boots. Davo's getting past Fufale. Nasha. And then it's you versus Jeff is. Like, it's not even, like, crazy to have all the Brits out. Sorry, PC. It's just not, is it? Like, it's just not crazy to just see all the Brits out. The most likely through is Davo. Yeah, oh, absolutely, Wilkin. Like I said, I mean, as you can tell by the fact that I picked a dark horse, right? There's no, if you just put all of these players in a list and just said who's going to win a tournament without like this matchup and without the teams, I would not pick Justicium in any way, shape, or form. You know what is a little bit sad? Never going to see vampires as world champions. Because Blood Bowl 3 took so long to get vampires in. No, we won't. No, unless they errata them back to not being shit. They've dropped down into middle tier again now. There's nothing the tiering can do to fix the hypno nerf. You don't count, coach. You thought like 2016 vampires were good. It depends. Yeah, I guess maybe it depends, right? The World Championships is changing next year. It's not going to be the insanity amount of games we had this year. Anyway, there we go. There's your preview. We will see you in the first match of the knockout, the real World Championships. I'm just going to call them in the YouTube the Blood Bowl World Championships 2025. Screw it. There's no reason to add Blood Bowl 3. Why would you? People don't add tabletop to things, so it is the Blood Bowl World Championships for this year. And we will see you in the first match of that.